Hi, you're listening to BBC Radio 1's New Films Hour. Today I've got two of the producers of the blockbuster film The Letter. How you doing, guys?
Alright.
Yeah, not bad.
Good. Our viewers have sent in some questions for you. First of all, I want to ask you, how do you think the radio trailer reflects the creative ideology you've applied to the film? You know, the radio trailer that you two both had some part in creating for the film.
Well, the radio trailer is sort of an integral part of the film, because you got to get to your target audience, and we as a team all agreed to use common features and themes from the film. So the dark theme of the film is reflected onto the radio trailer with the use of sound. So you got your sound effects like your crows and different aspects from the film.
Why is that dark theme important, do you think?
Because the key features of the film is drugs, loneliness, depression, and you want an accurate radio trailer to present that in a way that brings your audience in and makes them want to see the film.
Well, how did you do that? How did you make them get some of that darkness across? You know?
Well, the music from the actual short film was in the radio trailer, right in the background, so you can relate it directly. It's relevant because obviously it's a dark film, so there's a dark radio trailer, and the music itself.
So the music is dark.
Yeah, it's
then,
atmospheric.
Basically.
So.
Right. Okay. Well, what else? What else is in the radio trailer? You know, that was important to you.
We've got dialogue from. There isn't much dialogue within the film itself, but what dialogue there is, we've incorporated it in. It's quite a common feature used in most radio trailers.
Oh, so you're really linking the film together then? You know, the film and the radio trailer together.
We tried our best. The audience have got to want to see the film to start off with, and the radio trailer is the best way to do that.
I can honestly say, if you listen to the radio trailer, it's like being in the mind of our character. It's like being in Sean's mind.
Oh, right.
So it's what he's hearing and feeling. So it comes straight through the radio.
Because you're using sound effects and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Okay.
And when they watch the film, obviously they'll see and hear the same things, and then there's that mental bridge in their head, to say that it's all linked together.
Who are you targeting with a radio trailer?
The target audience, we said, it's 15 rating.
So that's the same as your film then?
Pretty much. There's no point targeting to a younger audience who can't see the film.
No, of course not.
15 plus, teenagers preferably, but the older generation if you're into.
How did you track then that age group in the radio trailer? What did you use?
Big characters.
The characters.
The characters are around that age, the way they dress, so they can relate directly to the audience.
But how did they hear that in the radio trailer? Did you use, I don't know, did you have some dialogue from maybe a character?
We didn't have much dialogue in general, but the idea of drugs, it applies to anyone nowadays because it's such a big thing. It's a big issue in our society.
Of course, especially for young people as well.
Exactly.
So that's kind of how you've linked it.
Schools obviously try and stop the idea of drug use, and this radio trailer, the film, will help little children, and not little children obviously. People along the ages 15 and older. It can apply to anyone who's in that situation where drugs has taken over quite a lot of their life.
Oh, okay then. All right. There's another question as well that I've got here. Do you think, because I've read the magazine review of the film, and I was interested to know what you guys thought of it, and obviously one of our listeners has thought that too. So they've said, do you think the magazine review was fair? Did you like who it was targeted at? Did they really understand the message? Do you think the magazine reviewer really understood your film? Do you think they were actually, when they were talking in that review, do you think they were talking to your audience or a completely different audience?
Well, the review itself is obviously their personal opinion, and they gave a really fair opinion. They obviously they wanted people to see this film, so because they understood it. So the target audience came straight across because of the colouring of it. The colouring of the magazine itself was dark and moody, which is the film itself.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
The language was quite informal, but not to where it's all slang. It's
So there you know you're targeting the
Yeah,
younger audience because
exactly.
you're using informal
yeah.
language, not too complicated or anything like that.
Yeah, it's that's exactly what we were looking for. And the images that were used in the review was perfect. I mean, it shows Sean's psychologically not right. You can see that he's not right. You can see like the action bits. You can see like little bits, and it's like a teaser.
In the photos.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, that
Um,
definitely brings you into the film, doesn't it? Really,
Yeah,
through
it's-
that magazine review.
'Cause it tracks the audience in a way.
Of course, yeah, especially your target audience, you know,
Yeah.
and yeah, it definitely gets across that idea.
Other than that, the review I thought worked perfectly. It reflected the film perfectly. The colouring, the sound, the tone of the film, the review even, it just really did work.
Do you think it was fair? You know that they got
Yeah, definitely.
their opinion was right.
If anyone's opinion they're entitled to it, obviously.
Of course,
So
yeah.
whatever they choose to say about the film, and they gave a really fair opinion. They did think it was a good film. So,
Okay then. What about? So we've got these two things. We've had your radio trailer, which you two have both been involved in creating, and then we've had the magazine review. So I was kind of wondering how you think those two kind of come together and affect the whole package, your whole media product, the film. So do you think the radio trailer and the magazine review complement each other? Do you think that'll help to bring in lots of new viewers to your film, or maybe it won't? Maybe it won't attract them. I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, like, the letter as a brand alongside the magazine review and the radio trailer, it sort of, they all complement each other perfectly in the way that the key themes are there, the imagery in the magazine review.
What are the key themes?
So, like, obviously your darkness and your depression, and you can tell something's wrong from the radio trailer with the use of the voiceovers
And the sound effects.
sound
too.
effects and everything else. With the magazine review as well, how they sold it to the readers, it shows that it sort of all links together. It's all combined. You're not going to get anything that you're not sure about with the film.
I mean, the radio trailer's very to the point, isn't it? You know, it doesn't talk and talk. It just, gets the message across by using sound effects and the dialogue and the voiceover, to just like the film. The film doesn't include much dialogue. It just gives you that message. So it was probably important for you to get, both of those things working in a similar way.
Well, the radio trailer's probably just under a minute long, so we couldn't really have. You don't want to tell people the whole story from just the one trailer.
No, you want to keep them interested, don't you?
You want to leave unanswered questions, which will then be answered by watching the film.
Yeah.
And the magazine review reinforced that by not giving the full story away, giving somebody's opinion, but as well just generally like hooking the audience, which is what we desired to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think?
No, it just really does break cliche. It doesn't. It's not. We're not trying to make people happy. We're not trying to show the happy side of drugs. We're trying to show the proper, in-depth feeling. So, the magazine, the radio, all have the same theme throughout. It's dark. It's cold. It's loneliness. You can feel it through the music.
Using music, colours, stuff like that.
Yeah, it's tense. It's everything from the film itself is in the magazine and the trailer. But if you want the full sense, you have to watch the film.
the film.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, what do you think, both of you? What do you think, reflects your film the most? Is it the magazine or is it the radio trailer? And why do you think that?
I think the radio, because obviously it was done by the same team as who made the film, and
Yeah. Do you think that then the radio trailer will be the thing that brings in the most people?
I think, in my opinion, I think it suits it fine, and that, in my opinion, that will bring in more new audience,
Because of how it's
a
linked
bigger
to the film.
audience, and I think that with our themes of drugs and depression and loneliness, a lot of people can relate to that, which again, it could help them with their problems, like Bam said earlier, and I just think it just suits real problems in real life, and it battles a key issue that's prominent in world culture today.
Oh, okay then. Well, thanks to my guests for coming in. On next week's Film Hour, we'll have award-winning director Ridley Scott, and he's here to talk about his new film.